Hello there, it's me again. So today I'm going to talk about labels um, or branding, and it's a topic really dear to my heart. In the past year and a half, I've been telling people. Well, it's something I know. I've noticed for myself that um, I had two things dwelling in me: uh, being a very spiritual person and being religious. And as I was reading through the Bible, I realized I was like, oh, it's two different things. So there today I will tell you, know the difference between what is being spiritual and what is being religious. Spiritual, you think about it, and it has to do things pertaining to the spirit, hopefully the spirit of the creator. And religious is you could be religious about things that not even pertain to the creator, because religious have the connotation, the word religious have the connotation of routine or ritual. So there's a lot of spiritual people who engage in ritualistic behavior, but there are a lot of you find rituals in just about every facet of society. Just a little history for you. So in the West, right? I currently live in the United States, but in the West, when the United States was being inhabited by colonizers, you had Puritans that came. And Puritans, they didn't call themselves Puritans. Um, Brief history. So the Catholic Church at one time ruled the world, and Protestants protested that the Catholic Church were the sole channel that God was using. So they protested the church and they formed their own organization. Um, Usually, Anglicans was the state or religion when church and religion kind of mixed together, and that was headed by the king or the queen. And so currently it's the queen. And the Puritans thought that the Protestant body deviated from God's word. And so they were looking for pure, a pure form of worship to God. So when they, when the New World was um, found, they thought, wow, if we can go and we can take our pure worship there, we wouldn't face persecution. So you had people like the Quakers, etc., come to the United States. Uh, Compressing history a lot, um, when as they colonized and as they brought the Africans over, um, they taught us their way of worship. And their way of worship was not just about being pure, but a lot of it had a lot of piousness in it. So throughout civilization, especially of North America, you have a pious look where, you call it like the church look, you got to look a certain way to be godly. Well, that was man standards. But knowing the difference between a religious person and a spiritual person is a wise thing for you because of labels. So labels is where you say somebody can label you and they could say, oh, you don't look spiritual, so you are not spiritual. And unfortunately, what happens is somebody label us, and we try to we try to live up to that label, or sometimes we try to fight against the label, not realizing it is just a label. It is just that other person's opinion, and it does not matter to God what someone else perceives about you because they could be wrong, especially if you know they're wrong. Another thing I had written here for you is rude versus rebellious. So if you are, some people get labeled rebellious, right? And they might be rebellious, but knowing what is behind a label, um, they separated the world into good and bad, evil and good. Um, Jesus was a rebel. He went against everybody. And if you look at the Bible, most prophets were rebels because they went against what was common, what was norm. Rude, right? Um, People have notions of what it is to be rude. They say, "Hey, you're rude." Are you really rude? Or are you saying something that goes contrary to that person's opinions and beliefs? So you really want to make sure, I don't encourage rudeness. I don't encourage rebelliousness. And I think at the base of it is respect. And you always know if a person is like in God's eyes, like from their perspective, from his perspective, you always know if they are rude or rebellious, if they have a rude and rebellious spirit about them. And what I have been learning recently is it starts within yourself. So, do you respect yourself? Do you truly respect your being? And a key way to think of it is, what's your talk in your head? Do you say often, "I'm so stupid, I'm such a fool"? Or maybe you might use some curse words referring to yourself. Maybe you might tell people or have them call you by curse words. Do you respect yourself? See, if you don't respect yourself, you won't respect other people. But you can respect a person and you could respect their thoughts and not agree with it. That is possible. I'll say that again. You could respect a person. You can even appreciate their thoughts, but not agree with it. It's called free will. But the respect that you have will show through your words and through your actions. So somebody says it and they think they're God and they think you should believe it because they said it, right? And you cuss them out. Well, we'll talk about this in next video, but you can develop the skill to respect a person yet disagree. That is the character of a mature person. So as you grow to maturity, you will learn, right, that you don't have to be Miss or Mr. Goody Two Shoes, right? You can be a free moral agent, but still show respect for yourself and for fellow humans. Okay, that's it. That's it. That's it for today. Okay, thank you for listening.